Hello everyone. You may notice I have some fashionable headgear on. Today we're going to be playing Automobilista 2 in virtual reality. I'm using the Valve Index here, which is by far the best VR headset out there at the moment. And as you're going to see, this is one of the best experiences you can have, not only in a sim, but in VR in general. This is so much fun. We're here at Imola. We're using the P4 class prototype cars. They're a little bit like radicals. They're sort of small, light, not that powerful, but very grippy prototype cars. Fairly basic setup, and they're just great fun to drive around a circuit like Imola. So we have a full grid of cars. All the way down in 21st place, you will find us. And we're going to try and win this race against 120% difficulty AI. That's the maximum that they will go to. I'm still on 50% aggression, because I don't want to get murdered too much by the AI, but hopefully we should have a pretty good race. So, let's get straight into it. Okay, I've just got my headset on in time. Let's try and get the lights. Oh, a lot of wheel spin off the line. So we're here at the back of the grid. It can get a little bit spooky on lap 1, and it's happened immediately. The AI have killed themselves. That's a few places already. Oh my god. Oh my god. Okay. We got through that, right. That was probably about 10 places already. So let's try and keep up with the pack now. So as I said, these AI are on 100%, 120% rather, difficulty, which is the highest that they will go to. So this entire race, I'm going to be pushing as hard as I possibly can to overtake them. They are not slow. In my practice race that I just did, I was about a second a lap faster, but that was without me having to try and entertain you guys. VR is the way that I usually do sim racing, so I'm a hell of a lot better in VR than I am in 2D, just because I'm used to it. But let's see if we can actually make some plays here. So first of all, the cars. So there's two cars in this. Oh god, the understeer. There's two cars in this class. First of all, there is this one I'm using, which is a little bit more powerful. And then there's the other one, which I do believe is a little bit lighter. So it's actually quite an interesting class in terms of the competition between the two cars, because you end up with different sectors being different speeds in different cars. Now, one thing that you're about to notice is that I'm running less downforce than the AI. Now that might sound like cheating, because the AI haven't changed their setups from the default, and I have, but I'm going to need all the help I can get during this race to try and overtake these guys. So, you should hopefully see in a moment that I start gaining on these guys down the straight. Yeah, I already am. Just because I have quite a lot more top speed with the downforce, even when I get a bad exit out of the last corner. But that's not going to be an overtake there. I don't want to get squeezed onto the grass by the AI. One thing that I love about these cars is how much you can use the curbs to kind of rotate the car. Like, the suspension is surprisingly compliant for a downforce car, so it's really good fun around a track like Imola. We don't want to go out onto the gravel though. So there's that little serrated curb just before the grass there on the exit of quite a few corners. That is our last hope at pushing us back onto the track. If we go over that and we hit the gravel, that can quite often end in us facing in the wrong direction and feeling rather embarrassed about ourselves. Apart from there, there's some tarmac runoff, and at the chicane up at the top of the hill. So, I don't know what position we're in. Actually, we can just check. We are in 12th position. So let's see what we can do from here. We managed to obviously gain a lot of places from that lap 1 incident. But we just need to hold on to the back of these guys and try and get them down the straight, basically. The draft is pretty strong, as you can imagine, with that giant rear wing. We can do quite a lot of damage down the straights. I'm using the same amount of front downforce as the AI, just remove some rear wing to get some top speed and just to get it to bite a little bit more in the higher speed corners. So there we go, there's the draft working. That's how much faster we are down the straight. And that was with a fairly mediocre exit of the final corner as well. And somebody's in the gravel on turn 1. That's very easy to do. So that is a couple of places gained on that lap. We should be in P10 now, I do believe. So, what can we do? Imola's such a great track. It's such a great track for racing on as well. There's the prospect of Formula 1 coming to Imola later on this year, and I'm not entirely sure how that'll play out because there's not that many long straights and quite a lot of downforce reliant corners, so it might be quite difficult to follow as closely as we are in these cars. But obviously in these much more basic machines where downforce does slightly come into play as well as skill, as you can see on that corner when I go wide. Sorry, I really need to concentrate through Aqua Minerale there. I think that's Aqua Minerale. I can't remember corner names of Imola. I mean, I'm bad at corner names in general, but when they're in Italian, it gets even more complicated. Yeah, so I'm not entirely sure how that will go, but in a car which isn't so reliant on downforce, it's so much fun. There's so many places where you can just send it up the inside, so many opportunities to do cheeky little overtakes with surprisingly heavy braking zones, that if you're in a small narrow car like this, and of course a car that can follow quite closely, you can be really opportunistic with your overtakes, which hopefully we'll get the opportunity to do during this race. Can we even get 2? No, we can't get 2. Another car in the gravel trap. It seems like the AI are really struggling on the brakes there as we get fully sideways. Okay, that's the lack of downforce on the rear. It really does make a difference through that corner there. Just the change of direction seems to upset the car quite a lot. I've also slightly loosened the front ARB just by 1 click, just to get that bite in corners like this. And I had to play with the differential. I think the differential is where a lot of the drivability is in this game. If you can... Generally I like to just loosen up the diff power a little bit, the power ramp as it's called, and stiffen up the diff preload if the car has it available, compared to the setups that the devs have put into the car. We've got a guy quite close behind us. I just don't want to get overtaken by doing something stupid while I'm talking. There we go, a slightly better run through the chicane now that we're not following the AI. Yeah, if you can tweak that differential to your liking, it makes a big difference coming out of the corners. And as you can see, I'm still kind of struggling with it, because I haven't really done proper setup work on this car. I've just tweaked a few things after doing some test laps before. Now, as I said, during the test race, I was about a second a lap faster than the AI here. And this is on the maximum difficulty, which, you know, I am not some sort of alien sim racer, so in a way it's a little bit disappointing that they're not that quick, but then again, them being the speed that they're at, as we use a little bit too much sausage there. Remember, as Game Muscle always says, stroke the sausage, don't plough it. Yeah, I'm enjoying racing them. I think they're a good speed for me to be able to race, because it means that I can still overtake them. But if you're looking for races with the AI that are equivalent to online races, they're not quite the pace that I would like them to be. But then again, they do vary per car, obviously. And I mean, my skill massively varies per car. So obviously in a car that I'm less comfortable with, 120 AI would probably be way too fast. Alright, we're a little bit better through there, but still kind of sliding a bit too much. We seem to be losing the cars ahead slightly. So I'm going to have to really concentrate on some of these laps as we go wide. Onto the sausage curbs again. There's little horizontal yellow sausage curbs that just flick the car up into the air. They're not too bad on this because of the compliant suspension. Oh god. But on some cars they could be murderous. They're the same ones that they have at Red Bull Ring this weekend during the Formula 1. We may well see some people falling victim to them, although they have removed them from one of the corners. The penultimate turn at Red Bull Ring used to have loads of sausage curbs on the outside and the exit, and they've now removed some of them to stop so many front wings from falling off. That was a slightly better run through the first chicane. You do have to use the curbs to rotate the car because it really does just sort of lean the car over on the suspension, which is nice. I mean, I could probably get the car set up to be slightly more bitey if I wanted to. Right, we're now catching up to this pack. It seems like, I think that's the guy in second place is holding everybody up at the moment, or maybe the guy in third. There seems to be a bit of a battle going on, and it's slowing everybody down, which is what we like to see because we want to try and catch them. First is unfortunately breaking away from the pack a little bit, so hopefully he doesn't get too far away. Too much sausage, bit of oversteer. It is terrifying through that corner. I think I don't think there's a car in the world that isn't terrifying through there. We missed our braking point. Apologies to the car ahead. That's me not paying attention. Okay, right. This is the problem with talking to a camera while you're trying to race, especially in VR, because it can get quite complicated. There's a lot of information hitting you all at once, and when you're trying to push like this, it can be hot and sweaty work. So we are in the slipstream. Let's see if we can get this guy down the straight. Feels a little bit cheap just being able to overtake them like this, but then again, I need all the help I can get against AI with this difficulty. Okay. That was a drift. Oh god, no, please get off the gravel, please get off the grass. Oh, we've lost 2 places. That was dumb. That was really stupid. We've got to get those places back. How many laps have we got left? We are on lap 7 and we're in position 8. Okay, I would really love a podium. I'm not sure we're going to be able to win this race. We don't quite have the pace that I had in the practice session. But if I can win, if I can get a podium rather, I'll be very happy. And judging by how grouped up these cars are, how bunched up this group of cars are, I think that might just be doable if we really push. But it does mean I'm going to have to be much braver on the brakes at corners like that. And get on the power early. There we go. In the slipstream, that's an overtake. Goodbye. So we're back past that white and pale blue car, are we? He's next to me, he's next to me. We got him. Ooh, a drift out that last corner. That's not a great exit there. It's very important for me to get a good exit out of there because there's so much time that I can gain down the straight. So, okay. On to lap 8 now. Wasn't too bad, wasn't too bad. A little bit less sliding there. We're still getting some rear sliding, but that's to be expected with such an aggressive setup. Oh god, yeah, we're getting pretty bad understeer through there. We just need to be Slightly heavier on the brakes in the first part, just to get that nose in. Front tyres are obviously starting to wear down. What's the tyre wear looking like? It's not too bad. There is just a touch of front tyre wear, I think, coming into play. Yeah, you can see how much slower I'm having to go through some of those corners than the AI. Oh god. I think in these in the twisty section in the middle of the track, I'm probably even on pace, maybe ever so slightly slower than the AI, but there is a lot of time to be gained down some of the straights as we abuse the sausage curves again. But we were quick through the chicane, so that's what we like. We're going to have to take risks like that. We're going to have to be aggressive if we want to overtake some of these cars. A podium position is in sight. Okay, a decent exit there, not too much sliding. Let's try and use the RPM. There we go. That's the slipstream we like to see. Can we get two? Can we get two? Oh, he squeezed us. We got two though. Okay. Oh. He's right up behind us. I'm not sure the AI are quite brave enough to try and overtake through the second chicane, but you never know. Apologies if you can hear any drilling in the background. Nothing I can do at the moment, unfortunately. And I've just got to concentrate on... Oh, that's the grass. I'll just take a moment to talk about VR in this game because I think it needs mentioning just how fantastic this game is in VR. Just like Project Cars 2, the engine is brilliantly optimized for it. The performance is great. It looks great. I mean, I have the game pretty much on the lowest settings it'll go, apart from things like car detail and anisotropic filtering and a little bit of AA just to get rid of some of the shimmering. But, okay. But even with that, I mean, it does just look great. The reason that I've got it turned down so much, even though I've got a 2080 Ti, is not because that's what it needs to be at for decent performance, but because I run my headset at 144 Hz. So, you know, I want the maximum performance you can get. If you want to turn your headset down to 90 Hz, or if you've only got a 90 Hz display headset, like an Oculus Rift or something like that, then it'll be pretty easy to get good performance out of this game. But those last few FPS are pretty difficult to attain, even on a GPU like this. So we are catching this guy. I think he's P4. I'm going to check in a moment. I think we're currently in P5. What are we on? Yep, P5. So we've got him and two cars ahead of us. So we can at least get P4, I reckon. Oh, we're on the last lap. We're on the last lap. I didn't even realise. Here's me talking about performance in the game, and I should be pushing as hard as I possibly can. Alright, come on, let's try and get him. He's within touching distance. Oh, there's the sausage curbs. That was a lot of runoff that we used there, but never mind. Okay, if we can get a good run through these last two corners, we might just have the pace to get him at the line. Come on. Come on. Come on. Oh, I'm not sure we're going to get him. I'm not sure. No, we haven't got him. We just don't have the... Oh, wait. No. Just don't have the straight line speed. There we go, yeah. Cool down lap active, just had to check. We gave him a bit of a nudge there at the end, but that was me looking at the where the start-finish line was rather than looking at him. Anyway, P21 all the way up to P5. I thought that was pretty decent, if I do say so myself. I am very hot and sweaty. That was great fun. And if you do own AMS2, I would definitely recommend the P4 class of cars. On pretty much any circuit, these things are amazing to drive and amazing to race. And even with some of the higher difficulties of AI, you can have some great fun racing as the AI. Okay, thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. And I'll see you all next time.